I definitely do feel like we're making defensive progress, but we got to do more. We had the lead going into the fourth quarter, and defense. We take pride in having the lead going into the fourth, and we got to keep it. Regardless of what the offense does, they're working on what they have to work on. But defensively, we got to make those stops, and we got to win the ball game if we have the lead in the fourth quarter. So.
What things are you improving on specifically?
Just being more physical up front. Being more physical. On the back level too. And the linebackers, we got to be a lot more physical and plugging our gaps and making sure a lot of stuff don't cut back and bounce outside. So that's something that we working on, and we working on that today, and we definitely going to improve. So.
Bryson, Kentucky was really running that same play, off tackle left throughout the fourth quarter. What was the problem in trying to get used to that?
It's something that they really ain't showed on film. But like I said, we gotta make the plays. We had the adjustments on the sideline. We just have to fit those gaps, and we have to make those plays in the fourth quarter. So.
As a defensive guy, do you feel like somebody on your side of the ball needs to say anything to McElwain just to keep his head up, and that y'all will kind of be here as he sorts it out?
We're all talking to him. It wasn't so long ago I was a freshman, making mistakes, and as a freshman, playing in the SEC, you need somebody, that's been there and that's been in that same position to talk to you and let you know everything's gonna be all right. I'm definitely one of those guys. I talk to Brandon all the time, let him know, it's gonna be okay. Like, we're having a little bit of growing pains, but it's always light at the end of the tunnel. So.
Do you get the impression at all, Bryson, that his confidence was impacted negatively after?
No, he's a quarterback and he's a baseball player. So in baseball, it's you strike out one, you can't go up to the next at bat thinking about a strikeout. So I definitely feel like he's gonna move on. He's gonna improve this week. So.
Bryson, what do you know about Texas A&M's offense?
They're a good offense. They have a lot of good skilled players. They have a lot of good. They have a good offensive line. We just got to come to play. If we come to play and we worry about us and we do what we have to do, it could be what it's going to be. We just got to limit, those perimeter runs, and we got to limit those big plays, that they usually get on a lot of good teams. So.
Skill people? I mean, it seems like they've got five-star skill people all over the place. Is this as good a group of kind of receivers and people on the perimeter as you guys are going to face?
Oh yeah, there's definitely a great group of skill players. But like I said, we just got to worry about South Carolina. If we go out and play, we can play with anybody. I feel like so.
Do you feel like this week is a chance for you guys to say, hey, South Carolina isn't too far off what we were a few years ago?
Yeah, definitely. We've made strides. Defensively, I feel like if we come to the ballpark to play, we can play with anybody. Like I said, we just have to be more consistent. We just have to, make those plays that come to us, and we got to take advantage of all opportunities that we got. that we get. So.
Does anybody on the defense get a little frustrated at times because the offense is having a sluggish start?
No, not at all. We can't. You can't think about the offense. They put 10 points up on the board, and Kentucky had 3, so we got to stop them. At the end of the day, any points on the board, any lead, we have to maintain that lead, and that's the pride that Coach T. Rob, Coach Muschamp, and all our coaches on the defensive side take, and that's the pride that we need to take as a defense. So.
When you think back to last year's game against A&M, it was a close game. What did y'all do to?
We couldn't stop them defensively, and I feel like this year it's going to be a game where we have to stop them defensively to give our offense the ball in good positions and allow them to have the opportunity to make plays. It's a defensive game now. If we get stops and give the offense the ball, they're going to eventually turn around and they're going to eventually make plays. So we're just going consistent. Keep working at what we have to do on defense, and like I said, we got to make those plays, and if we get stops, we can win the game. So.
Confidence-wise, though, after losing to Kentucky, this SEC is pretty unforgiving. They didn't give you a chance to catch your breath.
It was like I said, it was a bad game on us. We lost the lead, but it's next man up next week. And we're not really, worried about Kentucky. We're not going to allow them to beat us twice. Like I said, it was a hard-fought game, but Coach Muschamp talks to us about the 24-hour rule. Once a game, after we play the game 24 hours, we got to move on. And we got a good Texas A&M team coming in this week, and we got to prepare for them. So.
Bryson, what do you remember about 2 years ago? Game you guys were favored in.
It was a disappointing game. That was my first start, and just looking back on it, it's a lot of things that we could have did differently. But, like I said, we're going to move on this year, and we're going to take advantage of the opportunity this year. And all I can remember is that crowd, and that's the same type of crowd we need this week. I feel like we feed off the crowd. and we feed off our fans. So, you know, if our fans come out, we're definitely going to, you know, come out and give our all for them, I promise you.
Do you feel like you guys as a defense have a really small margin for error right now with how few points the offense are scoring?
We're very critical of ourselves. So, you know, any points is not we don't want to give up any points a game. Regardless of what our offense is doing, we got to limit people from scoring points at all. And like I said, that's just something that we got to continuously improve on. And, you know, I think we're making strides today on that. So.
Are you guys even aware of the SEC East versus SEC West stuff and how that has gone?
We're not. We just, you know, focus on game to game, and we just want to win. Like at the end of the day, you know, that just wins. That's what we want.
So when a Texas A&M or Mississippi State pops up on your schedule, it's no different than a Georgia.
It's no different. Yeah. It's a game, and you know, we just got to go in there with an approach that it's, you know, we have to win those games to, you know, be where we want to be at the end of the year. So.
This is the beginning of a stretch of 5 straight home games for you. Do you see this as an opportunity to gel and improve?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's definitely an opportunity to come in and, you know, take advantage of home field. You know, one thing that, like I said, Coach Muschamp talks to us about is not losing to Williams-Brice. We want to restore that dominance that we had a couple of years ago, and you know, like I said, it starts this week. We already, you know, we won one against East Carolina early, and you know, we don't want to lose at home at all. So, you know, that's a you know, big pride thing for us.
Last year, Kyler Murray was kind of growing into that role. This year, obviously, Trevor Knight knows how to run, knows how to pass. How does it change up what you guys do?
It doesn't change up that much. You know, we've played a lot of, you know, running quarterbacks this year. So, you know, that's just preparing us. But Trevor Knight, he's definitely a different type of quarterback. You know, we're very excited to play against a guy like that. So,
how much more does Texas A&M kind of require you to prepare for than a lot of other offenses?
You know, they have a lot better skill players. I'll say that. You know, they do the RPOs, they do the inside zone runs, but at the end of the day, like I said, we focus on South Carolina and we do what we have to do. You know, we can have a good game defensively.